So hello, future sea lions. This is Mrs. Mills, your school counselor, and I just wanted to congratulate everybody on starting 6th grade here very soon. And I wanted to give you guys some very quick and I hope simple directions on how to complete your elective form. This form is so that you can show Mr. Singletary, your new counselor, what you're interested in taking next year. Now first, in this box right here, is a brief video about what you can expect when you start at Southwest next year. So you click right here and it'll take you to a link. You have to have Google Drive open, so boys and girls, make sure you're signed in to your laptop, and it will take you to this video right here that shows you everything you need to know about Southwest. The next step is I want you guys to fill in your last name, your first name, and your student number. Your student number is that 480 number. Next, boys and girls, your parent guardian first name and your phone number, because Mr. Singletary might actually call you guys over the summer if he has a question. Now, parents, please complete your email address, because email is actually the best way to get in touch with Mr. Singletary. With over close to 500 students, phone calls are great, but email is usually a quicker way to get in touch, so please complete your email right here. And then if there's another parent guardian in the home, please complete this second part with parent guardian name right there. As you can see here, we have phone number, and then scrolling down. Here's some really important information that is different, a little bit different for middle school. Boys and girls, all of you are going to have one English language arts class, one math class, one history class, and one science class. So you have your 4 core courses. Next, you will have your 3 electives. Electives are what you called specials in elementary school. Pretty much every student is going to have a PE elective. That is a state requirement unless you have a PE waiver. You usually will get a PE waiver if you complete some athletics outside of school, or you have some type of health reason for why you cannot complete PE. But please note that every PE waiver request is not a guarantee that it will be granted, okay? You also get to have 2 other electives. Now, these are your choices, and this is what I want you guys to talk about with your family. You can choose art, beginning band, beginning chorus, beginning orchestra, computers, dance, which is a step team, okay? And that's in the video, so I really want you guys to watch the video. There's another dance class called Color Guard. Color Guard, you may have seen at football games where people perform with flags, and they do a dance routine with their flags. So those are the 2 different dance classes that are offered at Southwest. There's also theater, and there's another level of orchestra called intermediate orchestra. So you have to have played orchestra for 1 to 2 years, including this year in 5th grade. There is a STEM class, and one of the requirements for STEM class is that you must have had a high FSA score and good grades. There's student council, AVID, beginning French, and yearbook. Now for student council, you must complete an application, and the application is later in this form, and I'll show you how to do that, guys, so don't stress about it. For our AVID class, there's also an application, and I will show you how to complete that. And for beginning French, you have to have an ELA FSA score of a 3 or higher. And for yearbook, there are limited spots for 6th graders, okay? Moving on, a few notes to consider. If a student only chooses electives in which they must apply for and they do not get accepted into those electives, they will be placed in any elective that has space. What that means by that has space is that in a class that has that is not full with students, okay? because in middle school we can they have only enough, there can only be so many students in each class. So another class that we have, just like you guys have win time in elementary school, in middle school, some students go to intensive reading or intensive math if they need a little bit of extra help. So after you take your FSA score, take your FSA test, Mr. Singletary is going to look at your FSA scores over the summer. And if you score a 1 or a 2, all that means is that you need a little bit of extra help in those subjects. So he's going to place you in intensive reading or intensive math, and one of those classes will be your elective. Now students, if you have an IEP and you need a class called Learning Strategies will be one of your electives. Okay? Now my students who are interested in taking band, here is a link to the band video. You need to click on this link and it will take you to the band video, and you guys can watch that with your family. Parents, it does take your child to YouTube, so if you want to watch that with your, with your child, because it is on YouTube, just be aware of that. If you are interested in applying to student council, if you are interested in applying to AVID, I know a lot about AVID. I would love for you to come talk to me about it. And I would also really encourage you to click this presentation. Families, I encourage you to click on it as well and go over it really thoroughly. But I can tell you AVID is a great program if you fit what type of student needs AVID. But please come talk to me. I'm Mrs. Mills. Come talk to me all about it, and I will help you find out if AVID's the right place for you. If you feel, after looking at that presentation and coming to talk to me, if you feel like AVID is a good fit for you, here's the link to click on the application. You have to click on the application and complete it to be in AVID, okay? You have to fill out all this information, and you also have to write a brief essay to let the AVID teacher at Southwest know why you would be a good fit for AVID. Next is the student council application. I also know a lot about student council. I was the counselor at Southwest for a long time. I don't know if I said that. I was the 6th grade counselor at Southwest for a long time, and then the 8th grade counselor. So I know these teachers pretty well, and I know what they're looking for. So I'd love to answer any questions you have. So I could tell you a lot about student council as well. And I want to share with you here is the application, and you just need to click on it and complete this application right here. And it will get sent to the teacher. She is looking to make sure you have good grades and that you want to learn how to be a leader, because the student council students at Southwest are the leaders of the school. And if you're thinking, well, I don't know how to be a leader, but I want to be one, that's what student council will teach you how to be, okay? Now, here's the part where you actually choose your electives. So talk with your family, choose the 4 electives that you want to do, and then you go to the drop-down menu. And this is your first choice. This is the choice that you want the most. And you just select what you would like to do, okay? And then you go to the second, like your second one you would like to do the most, okay? Down to the 3rd choice, down to the 4th, and then if you have any other choices that you would like, that you didn't get to pick, type them in here. And then this question here, sometimes students don't quite understand. It says, if you had to take an intensive math and intensive reading as 2 of your electives, would you want PE as your 3rd elective? So think about that, boys and girls. If you had your schedule and you had all of your classes, math, language arts, science, and social studies, and your other 2 classes were intensive math and intensive reading because you need some extra help in those classes, and you had one other spot for an elective, would you want that to be PE? That's what that question is asking you. If you don't want it to be PE, you say no. But if PE is your favorite and you really want to go outside and play, click yes. Because remember, boys and girls, in middle school, you don't have recess. Okay? Remember that. In middle school, you don't have recess. You do get to get up every 50 minutes or so and move to your next class, but you don't have recess anymore. So really your only time to get up and move around and play with your friends is that PE time. All right, the next question. If you had dance step as one of your electives, would you like PE as another elective? So maybe you're a really athletic person or a really active person. Would you like to have those two movement classes? Yes or no? Okay, last bit of information. Actually, next to last. And this is really for our parents and our guardians, because this is really new, especially if this is your first child going into middle school. Once you go into middle school and high school, students begin to get placed into their classes based on where they are at in their understanding of their subjects, okay? So students who need a little bit of extra help and are, at or below grade level in their subject understanding are placed in regular classes. And students who are at or above grade level are placed in advanced and honors courses, okay? We also have ESOL language arts classes for our students who are still in the process of learning English. So over the summer, counselors look very closely at students' iReady scores from the year previous and also at their very recent FSA scores. If we don't have FSA data, we look at iReady scores from 5th grade and 4th grade. So if a child scores an FSA ELA, that's the language arts, score of a 1 or a 2, they are placed in regular, that's at or below grade level, 6th grade language arts, regular world history, and regular science. Okay? Makes sense. If they score a level 1 or 2 regular language arts, they also are placed in that intensive reading class so that they can get additional support in reading and language arts. And then hopefully in the following year, they can test out and be placed into advanced courses. If a child scores a level 3 in FSA language arts, they're placed into advanced language arts, advanced world history, and advanced science. If a child scores a 4 or a 5 in their, if a child scores a 5 on their FSA ELA, they're placed in advanced language arts, advanced world history, and advanced life science. Now with math, the best way to describe it is if a child scores a level 1 or 2, they're placed in 6th grade regular math and intensive math for that extra period of support. If a child scores a level 3 or 4, they are placed in 6th grade advanced math. And if a child scores a 5, they are placed in 7th grade math with only 6th graders. Now, some of our gifted students will be placed in either 6th grade math or 7th grade math, depending on what their FSA score is, okay? And for our gifted, for our parents of gifted students, if you have further questions about their math placement, I would suggest you email Mr. Singletary directly because he'll have more detailed information for your individual child and their score placement. And last but not least, you can scroll through here for detailed descriptions of electives to give you even more information about what your child is selecting. I know that's a little long, but I tried to be thorough so that you can understand everything. And again, I am here for you guys if you have questions, and especially more detailed questions. Please, here is your counselor, Mr. Singletary. I know he can't wait to see you guys all in the fall. I hope everyone has a great day. Remember, click submit when you're all done. Thank you, guys.